Diary entry, May the 24th, 2003. Hooray, hooray! The sea at last! Beautiful Broome. Now I know why so many people rave on about Broome. After driving all that way, with no sight of the sea, this wonderful azure sea and red rocks is just heaven on earth. Last time we came to Broome in 1995, we came along the coast road, and the impact was not nearly as great. This time, after not catching a glimpse of the ocean for over 7 months, the effect was breathtaking. Broome has certainly changed since we last came here. Now there are big modern shopping centres, Action, Coles, Target and so on. Lots and lots of development, but still that magnificent coastline. Getting our priorities straight, we headed off to the shops to stock up on bait and fishing gear. But fishing will have to wait until later in the day, because at the moment it's very hot. May the 29th, 2003. Our holiday and our time in Broome is drawing to a close, as we'll be back on the road on Saturday. Today, we took the opportunity to visit Malcolm Douglas's Crocodile Park out near Cable Beach. Being a long-time fan of Malcolm's, I had hoped we might find him lurking in the shrubbery somewhere around the park, but sadly, he isn't at the park all that often. We arrived at the park before the 3 p.m. feeding tour was due to take place, and so did about 100 other people. One thing that will leave some people disappointed about the 3 p.m. tour is that too many people take the tour, and some will see nothing but the backs of others when the feeding takes place. There's probably a good reason for only doing one tour a day, but I have to admit more tours would certainly thin the numbers out a bit. The park is interesting, and you can watch some of Malcolm's documentaries in an outdoor viewing area before you go for a wander around. Remember to take some insect repellent though, because the croc park has lots of pools where hungry mosquitoes tend to breed. Having been to a croc park in Innisfail, we had, to be honest, been hoping to see Malcolm more than the crocs. But there are several species of crocodile on display, as well as a few kangaroos. So there was more to see than we expected. South American caiman, New Guinea crocs, American alligators, freshwater and estuarine crocs make up the collection, and it's worth coming to see what each species looks like. We'd almost finished looking around when Belle spotted a couple of ladies emerging from an area at the rear of the park, and we asked if they were related to Malcolm. They turned out to be Malcolm's wife and his daughter Mandy. We spent a few minutes chatting and found that Malcolm was suffering from a nasty bout of the flu. But we did get to meet Bundy, who accompanies him on his travels through the Kimberley. We even got to take some photos of Bundy atop a model of a croc. It was interesting to meet the people behind the legend, as Malcolm's family haven't appeared in any of his films as far as I can remember. Bundy, of course, was the star of the meeting, and seemed to relish having her picture taken while standing on top of the big fiberglass croc. She certainly knows what a camera's for. Not long ago, we read a book written by a cameraman who worked with Malcolm on one of his expeditions. The cameraman did a real hatchet job, which resulted in a court case that I'm happy to say Malcolm won. We wish Malcolm a speedy recovery and hope he's planning to make more films soon. A special thank you to Malcolm's wife and daughter for stopping to talk with us and being so charming, as I'm sure tourists and travellers like us can become a bit of a chore at times. May the 31st, 2003. On our way southwest again, we passed Roebuck Plains, we turned right and onto the final stage of the journey before what we hope will be an extended stay in the Karratha area. The first major rest area we passed, Goldwire, was closed for maintenance, and we were expecting more of the stupidity we encountered in the Shire of Derby, where the only two rest areas had been closed. As it turned out, East Pilbara Shire was not quite as crazy, and the Stanley rest area, 56 kilometres further on, was actually open. We stopped for the night, and were soon joined by a number of other travellers, including Tony and Roz, who we'd spoken to by email a few times. They invited us over for dinner, and after a chat about the road and various topics, we all joined a group that had gathered around a campfire. I can't remember all the names of the people who were there, but I do remember Brendan and Kay, who were in their big 36-foot Leyland National called Oscar. Brendan had fitted it out very nicely himself. Another face in the crowd was Carl, who really wanted us to take a picture of his motorhome and put it up on the website, so I'm hoping that the shot I took in the early morning light comes out well so we can put it up for him. A very enjoyable evening reminded us of what life on the road was all about: travel, interesting experiences, and good company around a campfire.